What's going on, guys? Welcome back to A Cup of Cinema, where we review movies we watched the night prior over a cup of coffee. My name's Joseph. I'm with my co-host Acacia. And how's your morning been?
Great, best day ever.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we
1 o'clock right now.
went
12.
for a walk to go to Suda Table, which we've talked about, I think, multiple times on the show.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite cafes, and got a coffee and a treat.
yeah, it was
and
really
then
good.
walked home.
Got a Nutella cookie and it was awesome. Sugary, but awesome.
And then we went to the heavy metal market that was going on in the city. So,
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
yeah, so it's been good. How about
Yeah.
yours? Yours has been
Yeah,
also
had a
awesome.
really good coffee. Took Nero for a walk. And picked up some cool things at the metal market. I got 2 Goosebumps VHSs, and one of them's the Haunted Mask, which is awesome.
And they're like the original.
Yeah, they're the
Things are
original
like-
from 1995, published in 1996. Just got to check if it works, but still, having the original VHS and covers is pretty cool. So yeah, and then $5 each, not bad. $5 each.
Yeah.
There's somebody there trying to sell a Halloween VHS, which I was interested in, but it was $20, and the cover, it wasn't the original cover. It was like a printed cover, and it was like, I don't know, selling that for $20. And then when you opened it up, the VHS cover wasn't the same either. So it was like, kind of not an original to be selling that price. But these ones were a good pickup, so I'm happy with them. So I'm really happy.
That's good.
So what kind of coffee we drinking this morning?
Yeah, it's been a bit since I brewed something on the show, so I thought I would brew a coffee this morning because I've been buying a lot of coffee and just like not using it and having it just sit there and basically has to be thrown out. So I have this one from Ethica. My bosses actually gave it to me, which was really nice of them, and they gave me this scale for my birthday, so that was really nice.
Nice.
Sorry, I just need to check this recipe. Okay. Yeah, so that coffee, again, we've had it on the show before, but it's from Ethica Coffee Roasters, which are based out of Toronto. This one in particular is a Costa Rican natural process. And I'm using Jay Bussin's recipe. Hopefully I don't spill this. This is always scary.
Don't spill it.
Can you imagine if I went like that and just went everywhere?
That's
It would ruin the show.
Here we go.
Yeah, so it's Jay Bussin's recipe from the 2023 Regional AeroPress competition in the East Coast, Canada. He got first place. That was one that I got third in. I'm just using his recipe because, and I actually didn't even mean to do this, but he said it's best to use a roaster like Ethica that have coffees that are a little bit more developed, which I don't necessarily know that this one is, but it kind of sounds like it could be. It works best with those recipes. So anyway, it just kind of worked out that way.
Smells
so I
really
need
good.
to put the cap
Smells like good
on.
coffee.
And
I like this type of coffee more later in the day. Like when I wake up in the morning, I like a really dark roast. But
to decanter and
what kind of like notes is
flip
this?
onto decanter and swirl. Or press one, push for 10 to 15 seconds. Sorry, what was your question?
What kind of notes is it?
This one, because it's a natural, the notes are a little different than what I normally go for. Normally I go for like really light, like tea-like notes and stuff, but this one, the notes are wine and wine, blueberry, and marzipan. So it should be sweet, a little
Sounds
fruity,
pretty good for a coffee.
and fairly fermented tasting. I feel like,
Nice.
I don't know, I feel like I didn't do the recipe right, but we'll see. I need to, so this one's a bypass, so I'm just going to take the coffee and then weigh it and pour up to 150 grams, and then it should be good. But I have a feeling that I messed something up because I was talking and stuff, but it should be fine either way. It's a fairly large bypass. Okay. And it's just a funny process because I should have had 2 vessels to do it. But okay, I'll give it a swirl and we'll...
Give it a taste.
Oh yeah, it says pour between decanters to aerate. Oh, we're aerating. We're aerating right now. Aerating is just referring to like sort of this, like pouring it into a different vessel, but like normally you pour it into one and then you pour it back and it kind of aerates as it goes back and forth.
Smells pretty good.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. I already took a sip, but tastes really good too, actually. I like it. I kind of taste the blueberry notes.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it. All right, good coffee. Not bad. I like
It's
this
sweet.
brand.
It did come out really sweet, which is nice. And less fermented tasting than I thought it would be. But yeah, it's really good. Cool. All right, let's carry on.
We got our coffee. So we're going to start with some movie news coming up. So there's a new Predator movie in the making called Badlands, which is exciting for me. I'm a Predator fan. Not as much as Alien, but I do like Predator.
Isn't there something out right now called Badlands?
Oh,
Like,
the
it's like
Badlands movie came out. It's like a game.
Oh.
Yeah, so that came out, and then that was based on a game. So that's just something else. But this is, and I heard it was terrible. It did terrible in the movies. Good game though. So yeah, Badlands is coming out. Predator Badlands. It's coming out next year, I believe. November 7th, 2025. It's supposed to hit theaters. And he's supposed to be like a good guy, which we've kind of seen in Predator movies before. Like, you know, they're not always bad. They do try and help humans sometimes. So yeah, the director's name is it's a hard name, Trachtenberg. I think that's how it's.
Where is it?
Trachtenberg. So the creature is front and center, leading the charge, Trachtenberg tells Empire. He's still badass, but there's something there that touches you emotionally too, creating a character you connect with, but are also super intimidated by, as being challenged but exciting. So he's supposed to be like, yeah, kind of a good guy in this. So we'll see where that goes. I'm pretty excited to see Predator back on screen. And Prey was probably, out of all the Alien and Predator movies in like the last 10-15 years, Prey's been the best one so far. It was such a good movie. Do you remember Prey?
Yeah.
We should watch Prey. And
I didn't really care for it that much. But...
No? We should watch it again, do a movie review. I loved it. I thought it was great. That's some Predator news. Some other news coming up is Scream 7. So Scream 7 is moving ahead with Kevin Williams at the helms and Neve Campbell in the lead. It's scheduled for February 26, 2026, so still a year and a bit away. But according to Variety, 1883 star Isabel May is in talks to play Sydney's daughter in Scream 7, in what looks like a pretty clear attempt to replace Sam and Tara. I'm down for that.
Yeah,
I'm happy with
yeah.
that. I didn't like the new cast. I didn't like the new Scream movies that much. I liked the new Ghostface. He was so violent, but the new cast was so...
They were just like so...
new age.
Yeah, I don't want to say like Gen Zer, because like that's fine. It's just the sort of... I'll say in their term, like the vibe that they brought was just
I didn't like
not
them.
right.
As like, you know, when
They were good characters.
Yeah, like the original Scream cast, like I liked the characters. I was like, oh, these people are cool and I vibe with them, but the new cast I couldn't do. I was just like, oh, this is not that good. But Ghostface was wicked. I liked the violent Ghostface. He was so like, his stabs were like just vicious, which I like. So I hope they keep that that type of Ghostface in the new movie. But I'm excited for it. I know a lot of people are like trying to boycott it because of everything happening, but I'm excited for it. I'm gonna go check it out. And the last piece of movie news is the next installment for Jurassic World franchise is officially titled Jurassic World Rebirth. So I don't know if it's going to be a reboot or not, but Empire Online has some images if you guys want to go see it. Scarlett Johansson plays covert operations expert Zora Bennett in Jurassic World Rebirth, and you can check out the full image below, which is on their thing. And it's supposed to have a release date in July 2nd, 2025, so next year.
That's kind of good that they're calling it, like they're still using Jurassic World, but they're saying Rebirth, so they are like establishing it's a new thing.
New thing.
Yeah, instead of just playing on the old ones and redoing them, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, and I like Rebirth because it's like dinosaurs birth. Oh, I like the name. If it goes. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I love Jurassic Park. I love dinosaurs. So pretty pumped for that. And the new ones weren't that bad. Like the last one that came out, Jurassic World 3, which was the last one in that trilogy, was terrible.
I didn't
Which
really like any of the new ones. Maybe I need to
no,
rewatch the first one,
yeah,
but
it wasn't too bad. Like it was good. Like how they did it was respectable, which is nice. It's like they continued the story in the future, which was
yeah.
good. And you know, Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, calling like this like the amusement park got bigger. Like it was good. I like the ideas, but
I just touched my thing. Do you think that's fine?
oh yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It would probably make a little noise, but it's okay. But yeah, I liked it though. I thought it was pretty cool. Um, so now we're gonna move on to the main topic, which is our movie
Dun, dun,
review.
dun.
So yeah, what are we reviewing today?
I came up with this one.
Yep, she did.
John Carpenter's 1982 The Thing.
Yep, there we go.
Look at me.
John Carpenter's 1982
I
The Thing.
thought he was asking what the movie was, and I wouldn't tell him, and I gave him hints, and I was like, "It sounds like Cubone," because I thought I don't know why, I thought it was Stanley Kubrick's
Yeah.
movie, but
First of all, Cubone and Kubrick, like
well,
kind of sounds the same, but I
yeah,
wouldn't
they
have
do.
ever got
But
that.
then I messed it up. It was.
And then
him
it's not
anyway.
even close to a Stanley Kubrick film.
I don't know.
So
They're
this
both-
one was directed by John Carpenter, who also directed Halloween from 1978 or 9. I can't remember right now. But pretty amazing for him to have back-to-back cult classics.
Yeah.
Just like 4 or 5 years apart. So the budget for this film was $15 million,
Wow.
and the profit was only $19 million.
That's
Believe it or
crazy.
not, it actually got really bad reviews when it first came out. People did
That's
not like the film.
crazy.
Yeah, so I'll read you
It
something
was
here.
so good.
Let me read you guys something here. So the thing was released in 1982 to negative reviews that described it as an instant junk and a as wretched access. Yeah, critics both praised the special effects achievements and criticized their visual repulsiveness,
Why?
while
That's the
others
point.
found the characterization poorly realized. The film grossed 19.6 million during its theatrical run. Many reasons have been cited for its failure to impress audiences. Competition from films
Oh,
such as
that's
E.T.
why. It's
Came out at
because
that
of the
time.
time,
Yeah, time period. Because E.T. was huge.
But that's
like-
also like a kids movie. E.T.'s for children. Like
Yeah.
this movie's not for them. So
Yeah, E.T. was different though. It was kids, but it
I
definitely brought in
hated
adults.
E.T.
I wasn't a huge fan. It was just
Disgusted
yeah,
me.
it
It
wasn't.
disgusted
It didn't
me.
hit me that well either. E.T. I wasn't a big fan as a kid.
Freaked me out.
But yeah, it just didn't do that well. Like people weren't huge
Oh,
about
well,
it.
and it says here a summer that had been filled with successful science fiction and fantasy films.
Yeah,
Living through a recession. It's kind of goes against like what the thing's whole concept was. That kind of makes sense. Like
Yeah.
for just in that year, maybe if it were released in a different year, it would have been received as differently. I mean, it probably would have been because people love it now.
yeah.
So,
Well, the
yeah,
film
that's
found an
interesting.
audience when released on home video and television. In a subsequent year, in the subsequent years, it has been reappraised as one of the best science fiction
funny.
and horror films ever made, and
Yeah.
has gained a cult following. Filmmakers have noted its influence on their work, and has been referred in other media such as television and video games. So it's definitely like became a
Yeah.
huge thing.
That's so funny. People in that time period just wanted something like positive and like uplifting, like E.T.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
thing was not it at all. Au contraire.
So now it's a cult classic though, so that's good. Good on John Carpenter. He's probably really happy with that. How do I make the screen go down? I guess I can't. But yeah.
You can put the
So
keyboard down.
oh, that's what I was trying to do. Yeah, thanks. So we'll go over the actors quick. You could take this one if you want.
Okay, so the main
You could just read
character.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think.
Oh,
of how
okay.
to-
Yeah.
The main character, R.J. McReady, was played by Kurt Russell, and he was always known as Mac in the movie. And then A. Wilfred Brimley was Blair, the senior biologist. T.K. Carter as Knowles, the cook. David McLennan as Palmer, the assistant mechanic. Keith David was Childs, the chief mechanic, the one that kind of, I think, butted heads with Mac a lot. Richard Dysart as Dr. Copper, the physician. Charles
Hallahan?
Hallahan, yeah, there we go, as Norris, the geologist. Peter Maloney as George Bennings, the meteorologist. They always called him Bennings, I think. Richard Masur as Clark, the dog handler. Oh, he was a dog handler. Okay, that makes sense. Joel Polis as what is it, Fuchs?
Yeah.
Fuchs, the assistant biologist. Donald Moffat as Gary, the station commander. Oh, station commander. Okay. Thomas Waits as Windows, the radio operator, which I always thought was funny that he was Windows. He was the guy with the big hair.
So no wonder they had a big budget. They had a massive cast.
And there was one point where Gary, the station commander, I'm seeing he's station commander, he was like saying that, because he's kind of the older guy, and he was like, he had the gun at one point, and he was like, someone else take command then. And I was like, command? I was like, Mac's been taking command the whole time.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But I guess overall, he just has more of a leadership personality, but overall, the station commander was a different guy. Anyway.
But it was a massive cast, though. And I think they had the money to do this because of what they brought in through Halloween, right?
Do we know where it was filmed? Because I was wondering that the whole time.
Let me check.
Because it must have been so cold to act in that movie. Like, sometimes he'll be making some sort of film or something, and I find he always does them like in fall or like in winter. Like,
it's fun getting out there in those elements.
All of your videos where I'm in it are the coldest. Like that one where we were at the waterfall and there was ice. I was watching the video of it the other day, and I was like, I was so cold when that was happening. Like, I wanted to cry. I was bordering on crying because I was so cold. So I can't imagine how these guys felt. I was like, I really want to go back to the car.
This movie was filmed in so some scenes were filmed in Los Angeles on refrigerated sets. And one of the filming location was in Alaska, British Columbia. So Alaska and British Columbia were like other filming locations where that would have been the cold. And then they had some refrigerated sets in Los Angeles. Probably those were the interiors.
A refrigerated set.
Yeah, so then they're outside. They were probably in those other locations.
That would suck.
So yeah, just the cast and flying to all those locations alone, because there was like 4 different locations in British Columbia and then one in Alaska.
Imagine how many days they're out there, like.
Yeah, and exactly. And you're going to rent a helicopter and like a manned camera manning that helicopter. And it's a lot of money because no drones back in the day.
Are you going to finish this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You already had 2 coffees today. You don't normally drink more than that.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying this.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll go over the plot quick. How we break up the plot is just by sections. And then we'll talk about those sections and what we... Well, you know, what we thought.
Break it down.
She's going to take the helms on this because I've watched the thing 100,000 times.
So
but
have I.
I haven't watched it in a while. And last night, when we watched it, I fell asleep like 75% in.
And I turned, I was like, are
just
you
tired.
asleep? And I thought he just
we
fell asleep.
We had to find it on the laptop because it's not on TV. And like when I watch movies in my bed at night, I just pass out. So
anyway.
So you want to take it?
Yeah. So, in Antarctica, a Norwegian helicopter pursues a sled dog to an American research station. The pilot accidentally destroys the helicopter, and the surviving Norwegian is shot in self-defense after attacking the Americans.
Okay, wait, one second. I gotta say something about this. When the helicopter blew up, that was kind of ridiculous. He, like, threw his hand back, then his grenade just let go.
Because he meant to throw it that way, but it, like, fell out of his hand behind him to the helicopter.
I get that, but it was just like, I don't know, it just wasn't shot in a way where it was believable. It looked so, like, flimsy and mediocre. So I was just like, I don't know, to start it off with that type of shot threw me off a little bit. It always throws me off. Every time I watch it, I'm just like, oh, this scene is ridiculous.
I didn't find it that crazy because think about this.
It's possible,
but I was like in it. I was like in it, and this guy was going through God knows what. I mean, we know what when we're watching it, but God knows what. He's freaking out trying to kill this dog. He's like trying to shoot it. He can't fucking shoot it. He's also trying to fly a helicopter at the same time, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And he's frantic. He's like, I gotta kill this dog before we find out, before the whole world gets destroyed. So he's like, frantic. He's missing. Like, he's fumbling, right? So he's throwing the grenade and he fumbles. He just fumbles.
It was pretty
really hard.
funny though. Like, it's a funny scene. It caught my eye. It was just every time I watch it, I'm just like, oh, this scene's hilarious.
And I felt like that didn't really say that he was trying to shoot the dog, but he was trying
Yeah.
to obviously kill the dog.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good way to get rid of the helicopter, which is like a means of transportation.
It was
right?
also
So,
a really good intro scene because it
yeah, it starts off right
immediately
away.
got to the action, and you're like, what's going on? And like, why is he trying to shoot this dog? Why is he not killing the dog? Like,
Yeah.
he's terrible.
Yeah,
And
his
then
shot is terrible.
all the drama starts like right away, which is cool. Blah blah blah. So he shot, and then puzzled the main character Mac, and then also Dr. Cooper investigate the Norwegian base. Investigate the Norwegian base, finding it destroyed along the frozen corpses and a burnt, deformed humanoid. They bring the remains back, where biologist Blair discovers it has human-like organs.
So this is where John Carpenter shines, in my opinion, is with his practical effects.
Yeah.
Like, you know, all the effects and all the monsters, and like when they're in the scene when they're like taking out the organs, he does a great job. Very good job. This is exactly where he shines because it looks so real, and the camera angles he's using is fantastic.
It looks very 80s, like it's very much of its time, like you
Yeah,
can tell,
yeah.
but they
I
do a
like
better
that
job
more,
back
yeah.
then than they do now. Now
Yeah.
everything looks just
Over the top,
way
like,
over the top.
over the top, and you could tell, like, yeah, it just looks over the top. I like that. I don't know. When you're watching a movie, that those effects, I don't know, they hit me a little bit harder than the
creepier.
effects we see now.
They're just like creepier and
Yeah.
weirder versus now it's like, you know, they're made by like a robot. It's like all CGI, it's all fake. But like back then, those were like real made things. So it almost feels more real in a way, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, like Fede Alvarez, he does a great job with practical effects, and his practical effects visually are a lot more stunning than the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in my opinion. So, yeah. So as we go on, the sled dog mutates, attacking the station's dogs. The team incinerates the creature because they have the flamethrowers. And Blair realizes it is an alien organism capable of imitating other life forms. Data from the Norwegian site reveals a buried alien spacecraft, estimated to be over 100,000 years old. Blair grows paranoid after running a simulation showing the organisms could assimilate all life on Earth within years. He sabotages the station, destroying vehicles, radios, and sled dogs, and is imprisoned in a shed.
Okay, can I add something to the scene before this? I was actually
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
through my notes to find something first. At the beginning scenes, they have the guys inside like lounging, and like one of them's like playing chess, and I just thought it was kind of cool that like he was playing chess, but he's playing it on a computer, and it had like those like computer sounds, but almost like when you're in a ship, like a
Yeah.
spaceship. And so this movie is like sci-fi, and it gave it that like sci-fi feeling right from the get-go, when really it's not a space movie, and you're not in outer space, you're not in a ship, you're on planet Earth, but there's that whole, you know, classic like team of scientists in like a research station, and then you still have those kind of computery sci-fi sounds. So I just
Yeah.
thought that was like a cool style thing to put in there to kind of bring you into that
That's pretty
feel
cool to
of
catch, yeah.
being in like a sci-fi sort of thing, because it sounded exactly like when someone's on a ship, but it was just like a little computer. And then I also like, and it keeps happening like even in some of these scenes, but they don't have a lot of music in all of their scenes. They do for a lot of them, and it's more like orchestra, I believe. But a lot of the time, like in the initial scene where they're shooting the Norwegian and stuff, there's no music at all. And even when they're looking at the weird humanoid alien creature, there's no music, and there's just silence, and everybody's just like looking at each other, like,
Yeah.
you know, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this?
No, like, dun,
just
dun,
in
dun.
disbelief. No dun dun dun. No
Yeah.
like people talking, which I feel like is more realistic that people would be talking, but there's something more dramatic and like
Everyone's just staring
intense
at it,
about it.
focused.
Yeah, versus everyone going, what is going on? Like, I don't want to hear people saying stuff. I want to be in the moment with them. So
Yeah.
I like that component of it. Anyway.
He does a really good job. There's also a scene at the beginning where that guy. So when the guy gets off the helicopter and he's trying to shoot the dog, he shoots one of the guys in the leg.
Yeah.
And his reaction is hilarious. The guy runs up to him and he's like, "You okay?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm good. You go, you go." Like, totally
Yeah.
fine. Just gets his leg shot and like.
And doesn't
no
he just grab a
pain, no
beer
pain.
after or something? He's
Yeah.
like, I need a beer or something, and he just
So
like
80s man.
he's just like drinking a
just like,
beer.
yeah, I got shot.
Yeah.
Like,
So what? when really he's like a nerdy scientist guy,
It's
probably.
hilarious. I loved it. So we're at the part where the sled dog now mutates the other station dog, so it's
Yeah,
trapped in
which
that
was
thing.
definitely a gross scene, and you're like
Yeah.
obviously sad because you're like feeling for the dogs.
Yeah,
You're like, no,
not a
the
lot of movies can
dog."
kill dogs, and people walk out saying that I like the movie. A lot of times, people stay
Yeah.
away from doing that in films
Well, because a lot of the time it's such a
it
shock
hits a
value thing, and it's like, don't put that in there. Like,
Yeah.
you're just doing it to upset me. But like this one, it makes sense in the movie and it fits.
Yeah,
A lot
I
of
feel
the
like
times just
horror
thrown
movies
in.
though they stay away from like dog killing a lot. Like it's
Which
like
is
a thing,
good.
or like even cat killing a little bit. See, Halloween, John Carpenter does it though. Like in Halloween, Michael kills a dog
Yeah.
in Halloween one, and then in this one he's got like 3 or 4 dogs killed. He's like breaking.
But again, he does
breaking
it
the
smart.
barriers.
Like he
Yeah,
doesn't
he
just
does it
he doesn't
smart,
just throw a dog in there just to freak you out. He does it
They're
because
part of the
it's
story.
a part
Yeah,
of the story.
which is
yeah.
good. Yeah, which is what I like. He's very smart. His movies are really well done. But yeah. So like it takes over, and then like that's when the movie really starts to pick up a little bit because
Yeah.
that guy goes crazy. The dog handler, he like is really upset about his dogs being killed. The dog
What-
handler. The
What
dog.
does he do that he's upset?
I think he's the first one who runs back, doesn't he? And then he like starts
Oh.
to freak out. That's how like it starts
Yeah,
to go. Like he's the one of the beginning guys who kind of starts to freak out and
Oh,
make
yeah.
everyone else start to freak out and get on edge more.
But then Blair is the one that's Doc, I think, or no?
Yeah, Blair's
it
the one
Blair?
who gets he's the doctor, right?
I don't think so. I think Blair's
Or
a different one.
senior biologist is Wilford Brimley.
Because Doc and Blair are two different
Dr. Cooper.
characters.
Dr. Cooper, the physician.
Oh.
See, the dog handler is Clark. But so the group devises a test using heated wire to identify infected individuals. Palmer's blood reacts violently, exposing him as infected. I thought this was a great idea. Like, he pretty much just uses a torch and torches like a clothes hanger, and he's got like a little cup of everybody's blood, and when the heated whatever it
It's
is,
like a
the
sample
pin
plate
or
of
whatever,
blood, and it's just laying flat. So if he touches it with the
it
heat,
reacts.
then you're like hurting
The virus.
genetic composition. Yeah,
The
of
alien,
the
I guess,
alien.
yeah. So I thought that was super cool. He transforms, killing Windows before being destroyed by Mac. Meanwhile, Blair escapes and begins constructing a flying saucer. As power fails, Mac, Gary, and Knowles prepare to destroy the station to eliminate the creature. So yeah, now we're in like the midst of the movie. This is like the core of it, the action of it.
Well, I feel like it's been action like the
Or
whole
it has
time.
been,
It's just
yeah,
been like
yeah.
going up and up. But I also wanted to say, in addition
Amplifying.
to the blood part, where he's like, that was a really smart thing to do to try to find out who's who.
Yeah.
The blood samples. But even like when Blair was acting crazy and like smashing everything, and they're all like outside the room, like, what are we gonna do? Like, he's acting crazy. He's gonna kill someone because he's like shooting and everything. They take a table. He runs out of bullets in his gun. He throws his gun. And he's still smashing things. He has an axe. And so they see it as an axe, so they take a table and they run in with the table and rush him with the table so that
Yeah.
he can't hurt them. And I just thought that was really smart because like most movies, like between that and the blood thing, like in most movies, especially now, you don't see people come up
That
with like
rush.
intelligent like solutions to whatever problem it is. They
Yeah.
just like kind of run away or like
Like always play defense in the new
yeah,
movies.
yeah, but like they are a bunch of scientists, so they're smart people, and they're in the wilderness, like in Antarctica, so their
And Mac's
characters are
badass.
smart people, and Mac's really badass.
Yeah, yeah,
so-
he's badass. He's always getting involved in all of the situations and taking leadership too.
Yeah, so it's nice that they actually played on who their characters are and like tried to make them more resilient, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm just gonna
so-
check the camera quick.
Yeah.
I just want to be precautious. Could cut this part out quickly. Okay, we're good. Yeah, we're recording. Yeah. So
So
then, yeah.
Blair has that. They had put Blair in that little like. Let's
Shack.
call it like a shack,
Yeah.
like external from the main like building where they're kind of doing all their stuff.
Probably like 20, 30 feet out.
Yeah, probably around 30 or more. And they keep him in there. They lock him in there just because he was acting crazy and stuff. And they also don't know if he is contaminated or is an alien or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when they go in, they find that to just go check on him. I think they were going to go test his blood next, was the next step. And they go find that the door is wide open and he's not in there. And they're like, oh shit, he got out. But then they somehow find out after stepping on the floor that the floorboards are loose. And they go down and there's, the friggin' spaceship being built down there, which was fast. Like,
Yeah.
that boy is speedy, or
It was
that
crazy.
alien is speedy at building ships.
Knew what to do. That's why. Like,
Yeah.
it knew.
But it was made out of parts from the helicopter, which is kind of cool. That's kind of why I'm like, was he already contaminated before that?
Yeah.
Or like, was it a later on thing? Like, I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see whether he was or not. But anyway.
He's a cool character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Blair, so the Blair thing, I love how they put that in there. The Blair thing kills Gary and Nulls, vanishes. Matt confronts the enormous creature and destroys it, along with the station, by triggering explosives.
Yeah, so before it gets to that point,
Yeah.
they are like, okay, to kill this thing, like, we need, like, it's in last resort mode. It can't, it's finding out that it can't just kill off each person. It's gonna just, like, sit it out and wait until spring or whenever it is when the rescue team arrives to get the researchers. So it wants to wait in the cold and just let things kind of be. But they're like, okay, well, we need to kill it with fire then. We need to make sure it doesn't, like,
Yeah,
go
fire
back
definitely
into
kills
its
it.
frozen state and then thaw again. We need to, like, kill it. So they go trying to, like, detonate everything and light everything up. They're, like, destroying the building and everything. And they end up trying to find the generator room. They go to the generator room, and that's kind of where the Blair thing is. And yeah, it catches and kills Gary, and then Knowles vanishes. And then, yeah, Mac and the creature kind of have a confrontation, which is funny because it was such a short moment. Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
a long scene at all. Like, you kind of expected to be more long and drawn out, but it was a pretty quick one. It kind of was like, it looked like a humanoid, but then its head was like dog form, and it had like little dog head appendages and like dog
Yeah.
arm paw
So
things.
weird.
It was really
A
weird.
weird looking creature.
Yeah.
It was super cool how they designed it. But left in the freezing aftermath, Mac encounters Childs, who claims he got lost pursuing Blair. With mutual distrust and no hope of survival, they share a bottle of scotch while awaiting their fate.
Yeah, so it's kind of a cool ending.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you kind of don't know what's going on. Like, are they both aliens? Are neither of them aliens? Is one of them an
And
alien?
I guess the alien won because it never got destroyed, and the rescue team will eventually come in the spring.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised they didn't make a. Actually, I didn't look into it. I don't think they've ever made a sequel. They made a reboot in 2011.
That is surprising, because that is the type of ending that people nowadays making movies would be like
Yeah.
on a frenzy. Like, we need to remake this. We
And
need
it
to
would
have
be
a second
pretty cool
part.
if like it picks up in today's day, like 2005, like in 1982, there was a lost crew and we never went back for them for this odd reason, but now we're forming.
Yeah, it
way
had to
to
be a
go
pretty
back.
crazy reason though. Like,
Yeah.
or maybe the team went back
Maybe
to
the
get them and
reboot
they
in
died.
2011 wasn't a reboot. I don't remember now. I don't remember the movie from 2011, but
I
I know
think
they
I
made
watched it.
another thing, so we'll give it a shot though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good movie. All in all, it was
Yeah,
a really
great.
good movie. Like if I walked out of that in theaters in 1982, I would have been pretty happy. Like I wouldn't
I
have
mean,
been.
we don't know what they're like.
Yeah,
you know.
but they just got off the high of Halloween, which was huge. So maybe they were just looking for more out of John Carpenter at the time. Like their expectations were a little too high. But yeah, I thought it was really good. And I think I would think like the game Dead Space definitely took ideas from this because Dead Space is about an organism in space that attaches itself to humans and makes them look all like that, like double heads and more limbs and all that. The Flood from Alien, or from Halo, I mean.
But this
is
is-
like a good example of the thing.
This is like a common thing though, like especially back in the day, like there's an alien and someone or some people bring it back to the colony or the scientists,
Yeah.
and then there's this whole like battle. Like that's
Yeah.
such a common.
That's the main, that's
Thing,
always
yeah.
the common thing.
It is a cool concept. It's
But
just yeah.
the actual look of it is, it's definitely been taken
Yeah.
for a ride throughout the
Yeah.
years. But it's cool though. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. The Flood was creepy in Halo. If anyone's ever played Halo 1, just seeing the Flood for the first time was insane.
I mean, this is cool that they did that whole concept, but again, not in a space
Yeah.
station. They did it in Antarctica at a
Yeah.
research station. It's similar vibe, but also very different.
Now that I grow up and I'm thinking about it right now, the Flood is kind of like Alien and the Thing put together because it starts off as these little things running around and they get onto your face huggers. And then after that, they I guess put something inside of you and you become like the thing. You mutate into some
Aren't
some type
you
of creature.
wearing helmets and
Some people aren't wearing helmets, no. And if you are wearing a helmet, because it's a video
Does it
game, you
smash
still
through?
get it. I don't like. I guess it smashes through, but in the game, it doesn't smash through. It just if you see it get onto somebody, it just turns
Because
them.
in Alien, the facehugger smashes through the guy's
Yeah,
suit,
it
but
has
it was
to
not
go
a.
inside the
It's
mouth.
not like a armor suit. It's
Yeah.
just a protective
They don't have
air
the
thing or whatever.
Halo 1, the graphics. There
They're
probably
so
was
bad,
going
you
through,
don't
but you
even-
don't see it. They're not going to show. It's just people attaching to
6
helmets, and
pixels.
they're like gone. But yeah, now that I'm older and I think about it, it's pretty much Alien and the Thing put together. There's a face hugger, and then there's the main transformation.
Wait, when did Alien come out?
Alien came out in around the same time as Halloween, I believe.
So
Let me double
before
check
this.
that though. Before this,
Okay,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
just trying to think of what came first of all these things because they are very, like, playing on each other a little bit.
So
Just-
1979 was
okay.
Alien, and that's from Ridley Scott. And then John Carpenter's Halloween came out in
2024.
yeah, no, 1978. So John Carpenter
Okay.
came out with Halloween 1978. Then Alien came out in 1979, and then The Thing was released in 1982.
1982.
So like a lot of big movies, and then E.T. on top of that. So a lot of big movies definitely were coming out at that time that have become called classics to this day. So yeah, we talked about this part. That's where like it became a cult
Yeah.
classic and all that. But do our reviews.
I guess that's the next
Yeah,
step.
yeah. So wait, I want to say like so this is why again I love John Carpenter. I love that he's a director who really uses practical effects very well. Like there's not a lot of people back in the day who could master the practical effects like he does, and a lot of the soundtrack that you hear in all the movies is made by him, which is great. So I'm hoping to see him actually live one day. I'm hoping he comes to Toronto, and he does like music sets, and they're like synthesizers and all that, and they're really cool. Like I downloaded a couple of his his albums, and I'm like, okay, I want to go and check out one of this guy's sing. But yeah, he's such a great director. Definitely one of my top favorites. So what would you rate this movie, the John Carpenter Thing from 1982?
It's hard because I've seen it so many times, and I really like it, but I feel like it's a lot of nostalgia. And I already saw your review, so I don't know if you'd feel like I'm copying,
yeah.
but I do feel like I give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
I kind of want to
well.
give it more because I do feel like it's valued at more, but I just
See, I would give it less. I would
Oh,
go
really?
if like I would never go. I wouldn't be like a high 8. I would be like a low 8, maybe 7.5. Just because like I would give Halloween maybe like an 8.5,
I like
closer
this
to a 9.
a lot better than Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find
See,
Halloween a little boring.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I love
I know you
Halloween. I
love
don't know why.
Halloween.
I think it's
I like
just
this way
the
more.
look and stuff of it, and
This is just so
I
action
think-
packed, but like
yeah.
and not in like a repetitive way. It's like something new is happening, and it all
Yeah.
makes sense. Like it's all relatable. And
I definitely
not
see his
relatable, but-
directing better here than in Halloween. I think Halloween's just a nostalgic thing for me or something like that. But his
Well, there's also way more going on. So
exactly,
like it's
yeah,
different.
way more actors, way more going on, more
Yeah.
action. Like even just like having flamethrowers and
Yeah.
all that, like it's a big
That's
deal.
crazy.
But his directing skills were definitely better in this than Halloween. Like, I like Halloween more, but I would have to say The Thing, as a filmmaker, is a better movie. It's written better. The acting is a little bit
The
better.
acting is
And
really good.
the action shots are better. Like, John Carpenter in
Yeah.
Halloween used a lot of long shots, like just super long scenes. But it was good, though. It put the effects into play. But yeah, this one was just really, it got to the point all the time. There
Well-
wasn't any time you were just lagging with the movie. You
The
know what I mean?
Halloween
That's
one
what I love.
was kind of that classic, like, you know, someone gets knocked down, the killer's right there, or you're like wrestling with him, and there's like a knife off in the distance, and you're like trying to reach, and the scene is forever because they're slowly showing the hand reaching for the knife, and then they're showing the struggle. It's like that kind of scene
Yeah.
versus in this, and it's just like, I'm
This
gonna
one's to
blow
the
the
point.
place up, I'm gonna blow it up. You
Yeah,
know, like it's
exactly.
such a different pace and different like.
See, that's where he got the
energy.
praise though from Halloween because he's like one of the first guys to
To do that,
Besides
yeah.
Black Christmas or a couple other like horror films that came out beforehand, which we're going to be doing soon. That's going to be
We
one
should
of
do
our
Black Christmas.
movie reviews. Yeah, so one of our movie reviews soon is going to be Black Christmas. They're showing it in a theater, which I kind of want to see it in theaters, but if we can't get tickets, we'll just do it. We're reaching the end of November, so we're going to
Soon.
start going
Okay.
into some Christmas movies and might do like maybe two like positive ones and then two horror ones. I kind of want to do Krampus.
Well, I don't even think we
I
have
like
time
the
for
Krampus
two,
movie.
for four.
Well, we'll try it out.
Two
We'll
and
try it out. But I want to do Krampus and I want to do Black Christmas. Those are the two horror ones I want to do. Maybe we could do like throw in like a comedy one or something. We don't do much comedy.
Because they're bad.
Yeah, the new ones are really bad. There's supposedly like a bunch of studios coming up with some actors who are starting like this, like they're calling it like non-woke like studio and all that. So they're trying to like bring back that really
Raunchy
brutal
comedy.
comedy, which I'm kind of excited for. I'm not a very easily offended person. So any movies that you're looking forward to watching? Yeah, she's not really into the movie world. The coffee thing's her thing. I haven't watched The Substance yet, and it's been going around right now that it's like a really hot movie. I'm not 100%
What
sure
genre
what
is
it's
it?
about. It's
Oh.
in the horror thriller. It's about this, or I don't even know, maybe horror thriller, psychological, because it's about this actor, I think, who like is not getting far, and she kind of does something drastic to get to her position, kind of like that movie we watched. From A24. I can't remember. It's about that crazy one.
Pearl or one of those ones.
Yeah, Maxine. But
Maxine,
like
yeah.
totally different storyline. But that I think it's that type of thing where it's like somebody who wants to be somewhere and will do whatever it takes to get there. And I don't know, it's the whole thing. I haven't even seen the trailer yet. I just keep seeing the name everywhere. I'm on Letterbox a lot. If you have Letterbox, I forgot. Damn, I forgot my username on Letterbox, but I'll put it. I'll put it in the description. Follow me. But yeah. That's one of the movies that I'm pretty excited to see. So, yeah. All right. So wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up here.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Okay.
Like a present.
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap it up here. We'll try and be back. We will be back next week with a new movie.
Yeah.
We've just been super busy. So.
Yeah, it's that time of
And
year.
we're going to be really busy coming up because I guess we could just say it like we're moving to Port Perry. Whoa! So we're moving
Everyone's
from Halifax.
like, where is that?
Yeah, moving from
Wow.
Halifax to Ontario, Nova Scotia to Ontario. I moved here 5 years ago. Now I'm kind of moving back home. Just bought myself a piece of a franchise. So excited to start my career with that. Yeah. So we might be on and off a little bit, but once we're settled there, we'll definitely be back on. But we'll try to be back next week. All right, guys.
All right.
Peace.